the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
The coaching in the secondary as to why Tennessee's secondary is still this bad after 3 years. And I don't know. I go back and forth on it, but I think if you're a Tennessee fan, maybe the young guy that popped the most for you outside of Big Bryce Young, Nico Iamleava, is Rickey Gibson, who he's bigger than I thought he would be. Not really afraid of contact, not afraid of the moment. And I think just one of those welcome sights where you're like, oh, this is what it's like to have some 4-star blue chippers at corner. This is what that might feel like in a year or two, because I think Rickey Gibson is going to be a really good player. And I think that was something that you needed to see, is that some young guys to pop at that spot.
Definitely. I had that as one of my things I was really looking for in this game, was one for Tennessee's pass defense to be better than it was against Kentucky. And it really wasn't, at least for a half. It was very discouraging. In the second half, I mean, you see how much it took together. In the first half, Tennessee was not getting a lot of pressure. And in the second half, Tennessee got a lot of pressure, and the pass defense was significantly better. But Gibson was a guy, I wanted to see the young guys as a whole, but Gibson was the one that feels like he's the farthest ahead of the three freshman corners. And I thought he played really well. He had the one, I think they call it a pass interference. Pass interference is really more of holding on fourth down to move the sticks for UConn. But He made some nice plays. He turned his head on deep ball. He got up in the screen game and made some tackles right around the line of scrimmage. And he did enough to where if Tennessee secondary struggles the way I think it'll struggle next week against Missouri, he should be in the rotation and getting playing time. That doesn't mean he has to start, doesn't mean he has to get the most snaps or anything at corner. But he's a guy that should get a shot next week if Tennessee's starting corners or top 3 or 4 corners aren't just, playing really well.
And I think that's what you have to, and I also love keeping the bid alive. Wesley Walker and Jalen McCullough getting the most snaps of anyone in this game, which is just a great bit to carry on the rest of this year. I love it. And also, Jordan Thomas pop. Like, Jordan Thomas, I think, stood out a little bit. Like, I think he's going to be a starter on next year's team, or he should be. And that's good to see. Andre Turrentine, I think, was fine in his spot. It's like, that is something positive. But I think Jordan Matthews, it certainly seems like they're redshirting him, because he should have gotten in this game if the plan was not to do that, right? I think the Jordan Matthews thing is the most, I shouldn't say concerning, the biggest eyebrow raiser.
Agree. Agree. I'd have to go look at like how much he's played in special teams, but it's like, he really not have played. Like, he hasn't played a defense. You're not going to play a defense in 4 games this season, so why would you not be able to play him and utilize that thing? So no, I thought that was very puzzling, and I'm not really sure what the answer is to it.
Yeah, it's something to keep an eye on for sure. But Ryan Schumpert, maybe the biggest question here, and we know what everyone, like, this was my excitement, and this is where I got redneck mad in the second half. We got 2 series from Nico Iamleava in this game before Gaston Moore came in, and this is nothing against Gaston Moore, who should probably be the backup again next year for Tennessee. I think he's got another year eligibility, right, Ryan?
I think so, yeah.
So he'll probably be around next year. Jake Merklinger coming into the fold, because you don't want a situation where you have true sophomore Nico Iamleava and true freshman Jake Merklinger being the main 2 quarterback options on this depth chart going next year. As talented as those 2 may be, you just don't. That's not really a spot you want to be in the SEC year in, year out. But that being said, in those 2 series, Ryan Schumpert, that we saw from Nico was just as advertised, in the sense that, like, what we saw, that on the run throw to Ethan Davis, where he had that bucket bomb to him down the field, that was just the throw of the day, right? That he is so good off platform, where